Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm Linda Green. We're going to continue our unusual no trump. Tuesday, we discussed the cubit of no cubits. We just used the two no trump as the unusual. So if they opened a club and we bid two no, we show the lower two suits. If they opened a diamond and you bid two no, we show the lowest two suits, the other two suits. At least 5-5 or 6-5. But tonight's lesson is the cubit. And there are so many different cubits in bridge, but this is a very simple one, that when the opponents open a minor and you cubit the minor, 1 club, 2 clubs, or 1 diamond, 2 diamonds, you're showing at least 5-5 or 6-5 in the majors. And your point should be in the 2 suits. And we have either a weak hand or a strong hand. We do not have an intermediate hand. So with 12 to 15, that would be intermediate. We would bid the higher one first. But if you were weak and you had 5 to 11 points, or if you were strong and had 16 or more, you would use this cubit, the unusual. And it's called a kind of Michael's cubit. We haven't done the third part. We're going to just do this part this evening, where we're only going to cubit the minors to show the majors. So if there are any questions before we begin, I'm willing to share the screen with you.
Can you repeat that? I'm not understanding.
Okay. We're playing this evening the cubit of the minor that gets opened, a club, 2 clubs in the direct seat, or if they open a diamond and we bid 2 diamonds, we're guaranteeing 5-5 or 6-5 in the majors. We're either weak with 5 to 11 points, or we're very strong with 16 or more. But if you had an intermediate hand, 12 to 15, you would bid your higher one first.
Okay.
Is that better?
You mean
okay. So if you have 12 to 15 points, you bid
naturally
your higher suit first. If you have
correct
the lower or the upper end, you bid
right
the higher first.
Right. And the most important thing about the unusual no trump is that when you do bid the no trump, what we did on Tuesday, it never includes spades. Spades is always out of the picture. It's always the lowest of the 2 unbid suits. So it's never spades. And the whole purpose of doing it is that it's such fun because we stop them coming in to find their spade fit. We get the bidding very high. And now they have not enough points to make a game-going bid, because any bid after 2 no trump becomes a force to game. Anytime responder bids at the 3 level and new suit, it's a game force. So it's a very good bid to be able to use that tool. Yes, Gail?
Is this total points? Because you got a lot of distributional points.
I don't count distribution until I fit. I never count distribution until I find a fit.
So you're talking 12 to 15
total
high
points.
Card
Correct. We can never count distribution. I have people opening distribution or making a take out double with 8 points in their hand and avoid. And you cannot do that because partner takes you for a full opening hand. So we should not do that. We must count high card points.
Well,
okay?
if you have 12 points in a 5-card suit, we give ourselves a point for that and open a natural bid of one of something.
Right, that's for opening, sure. But when you're in a competitive situation and the hand on your right is already open and shown values, you've got to tread very carefully, and that's why vulnerability plays a very big role in showing 2 suited hands. I mentioned that if you're vulnerable and they're not vulnerable, you've got to be very careful to come in with 2 suited hands, because the whole purpose of coming in with a 2-suiter is to be able to sacrifice against them. If they're vulnerable and you're not vulnerable and you get doubled at the 5 level and go off 3 doubled, which is only 500, and they make a vulnerable game of 620, it's a good score for you. But if it's the other way around, you've got to be very careful that you do not use these 2 suited bids, because you can get into trouble. And if you get doubled going off 500 when they're only going to make 420, you're going to go down the drain. So we've got to be very careful. The vulnerability plays a very big role. And as I said before, I do not make two-suited overcalls unless I intend to sacrifice, because then they know exactly how to play the hand. And the less I tell them about my hand, the better. That is the way I was taught. Okay. Any other question?
Yeah, so Linda, I was tonight on hand 2. I was looking at your instructions from Tuesday, and so I didn't do the bid. But so it's the spades aren't included when you're doing an over call. It's when you're responding to your partner that you could have the 2 majors when you do the Q bid.
Responding to your partner who opened the bidding.
Right, when your party
Completely different as being in a competitive situation where you are sitting over on the left side in the direct seat of where you want to describe your hand to your partner to look for a sacrifice. It's completely different.
Yeah, it is. Okay, yeah.
Don't mix up responding to partner, the opener. We always do higher one first if they're equal length. And if you've got enough points, you'll do the 6 card before the 5 card to show shape. So if you've got 6 clubs and 5 spades and you've got an opening hand, I'll always bid clubs first and I'll bid spades forevermore to show 6-5. I would never bury a 6 card minor versus a 5 card major if I have enough points.
Okay.
So we don't want to get mixed up between responding to opener and working in the opposite end where you are the opponent. Okay? Does that help you? Does that help you?
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's look at hand number 2 this evening. We can discuss any other hands that you may want to know, but I've put in a few hands here and I'd like to talk about this hand. East opens a diamond and South having 2 majors, 6-5 and 2 singletons. I would prefer my ace of clubs to be the ace of hearts, but I really would like to show my partner that I have 2 suits. And the only way I can do it is by using the cubit. So we would bid 2 diamonds. So they're opening 1 diamond east. And now we would overcall 2 diamonds. It's called the cubit. The cubit of the minor shows both majors. The cubit of the minor shows both majors. And now West has 4 diamonds. We would prefer West to have 5 diamonds. But being short in the majors, you are not going to pass this hand. So you should bid 3 diamonds to tell partner, I've got diamonds with you, partner. And now this is where everything takes a different turn. North has been informed of at least 10 cards in the majors. You are looking at a double fit. You have at least 9 cards in the spade suit and at least 8 cards in the heart suit. So knowing partner has at least 10 cards, you know that you've got very few wasted cards in clubs and diamonds. And sitting with a double fit, a fit in 2 suits, I don't want you to be point count orientated. My cards are working. The ace, king, and another heart are working cards. And on this particular hand, there is no question of a doubt, I would jump to 4 spades. Remember, you're off the hook after 3 diamonds. You don't have to bid after 3 diamonds. And if you bid 3 spades, you're just competing. You are too good with a double fit to just bid 3 spades. Much, much too strong. Now, the other hand is not great. Most probably would pass. And you might buy it for 4 spades. But we're going to discuss 5 diamonds in a moment. So looking at 4 spades on this hand, we're going to leave the ace of diamonds for one reason. Our partner supported us. Normally, we don't lead aces from spaces. We want to look at dummy, and then we'll guide ourselves from there. So we're going to leave the ace of diamonds. And now we're playing in 4 spades. We have 10 spades between us, which is the master hand. And this is what I'm going to teach you every time we play bridge. Every single week. You may hear me and get a bit bored with it, but I really want to emphasize, I don't want you floundering from hand to hand with no direction. I see this happening all the time. Before we play any hand, one hand becomes the good hand, and that's called the master hand. And the master hand is the one with the long trumps usually. So this is the hand we're going to make the good hand, the dummy. The king, queen to 6 spades is the hand we're going to make the good hand. So when we get the lead of the ace of diamonds, we're going to count our losers. And we look at the south hand, the one we're going to make the good hand. In the spade suit, we're losing 1 trick. Hopefully they break 2 and 1. In the heart suit, we expect them to break 3 and 2. We have 5 between us. But we can't always expect that when you've got 2 singletons. You've got no club losers, you have 1 diamond loser. But we know we're only going to lose 1 heart trick because we can always trump the other hearts if they do not break. So we don't have a problem. So we're going to play the hand as follows. Ace of diamonds. Now partner knows there's a singleton on the table. And knowing there's a singleton on the table, might want to give a suit preference signal. May want to give a suit preference signal. Everything depends on the defense. Now, if they come back a club, very complacently, we're in total control of this hand. So what you should do on this hand is throw away the king of diamonds. You can afford it. Dummy's got none. You've got the queen, and you don't care throwing the king. It's a signal. It was from last week's lesson. Partner, I want you to come a heart. The higher of the 2 remaining suits. And the 2 remaining suits are hearts and clubs. So now, if you listen to your partner and come back a heart, partner asks for a heart. 10 of hearts, jack of hearts, ace of hearts. Now you've got to play a spade, little spade. He takes the ace of spades. And now he knows he's got to trust his partner. Why did you throw the king of diamonds on your partner's ace? Because you want to get a ruff. You don't know that partner had a natural heart trick, but it doesn't matter. Let's do it. Come back a low heart. And they're going to trumpet. And that's what your whole aim was. It's called a suit preference signal. Now there are no more trumps out. And North always had a heart loser no matter what happened anyway. So it made no difference on this hand. But it's a practice of last week's lesson on suit preference signals. You don't want a club and you don't want to continue diamonds. And now with all the trumps gone, it's very simple. Whenever they come back, makes no difference. All the trumps have gone. You're going to get this king of hearts out of your way. You're going to trump a diamond or a club, doesn't matter. And you're going to trump a heart. And now, forget about North. We're setting up the south hand, the one with the long trumps. And all those cards in the south hand, the dummy becomes the good hand. It's called a dummy reversal. That's the good hand. And now all your cards are good. The king, queen, 9, 7 of spades, and the 7 of hearts. And you lose 3 tricks. As it happened, East had a natural heart trick. But your partner didn't know that. And your partner wanted to show you to come a heart to get a ruff. Are there any questions on this hand? No one?
Linda, I think you mentioned that the East-West might be able to play this in diamonds.
I
mean,
am. I'm going on to that now.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
But
we
I
got
want
to
to
four.
know if anybody was interested in this hand as we see it, like it is. Right. We can make 5 diamonds on this hand, believe it or not. It is the most amazing hand because you'll be able to make 5 diamonds, and it all depends on what you're going to lead. And if you're going to lead the ace of clubs, okay, how are you going to know to come a heart and not a spade? How are you going to know? We can't give a suit preference signal. You lead the ace of clubs in 5 diamonds, and it goes little club. And now how does your partner, who's only got the 6, the 5, and the 4, tell you where to find you? You don't know. Whether you play the 4 or the 5 or the 6, it doesn't have a signal. And you would naturally switch to the king of spades.
Took 5.
Huh? Somebody said something. Someone told me what? I heard someone say something about the 5.
It was Ruth on her phone.
Oh, okay. All right. So looking at this hand, it's automatic that you would switch to the king of spades. I don't think you'll ever find the heart switch, because the heart switch and a club back will what else can they take? You're going to lose the 9, you're going to lose the ace of clubs and the ace of hearts. And if they come back a club, you can trump it, but they're not going to find it. You're going to make 5 diamonds on this hand, because all you're going to lose on this hand is the ace of clubs and the ace of hearts. It's all a matter of defense. It's very hard to find that defense.
So if ops got to 4 spades, you would still feel confident overcalling to 5 diamonds?
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't, because first of all, I'm not sure that partner's got 5 diamonds. And also the other hand is not that great, holding 4 hearts. Not that great. We don't know what's going to happen. So it's not clear cut.
Okay.
Okay. Are there any other questions on this hand? Okay. I'm happy to move on to hand number 5.
Would you make 5 diamonds as a sacrifice?
Well,
Knowing that
that's
they're
what
probably...
I was saying. If you're not
Oh.
vulnerable against vulnerable, is it that easy to find 5 diamonds? It's a good sacrifice if you can think you can find it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's very hard on this particular shape hand. If they did it, that only because of the vulnerability might induce them to do it, knowing you're not vol against vol. But I'm not sure, because you've got defense. You've got the ace of diamonds, you've got the king of clubs, you've got the ace of spades, and you may even have a heart trick. Why would you want to go into something you're not sure about? That shape's not the greatest shape to know that you must sacrifice. So I wouldn't be going there that, you know, on that kind of a hand. I'm not sure what's happening. So I wouldn't do it. All right, let's look at hand number 5. Okay, hand number 5. North is going to open 1 diamond. And here we have a beautiful 6-5 shape. And honors in the 2 suits. And there's only one way to describe this hand. If you had bit of heart, you will never find that spade fit if a south preempts to 3 or 4 diamonds on this hand, knowing that they've got such a big diamond fit. So it's not easy to come in now and find the spade suit. So bidding a cubit helps you find a wonderful contract. So the bidding should go 1 diamond, 2 diamonds. I have the majors partner. At least 5-5, at least 6-5. One or the other. Now, this is the hand you're vulnerable. If you're vulnerable against not vulnerable, you should not get too frisky on this hand, because you can get doubled for 500 versus maybe 400. So you don't want to go and sacrifice with adverse vulnerability. You must look at your vulnerability before you even think about it. If I was not vulnerable against vulnerable, I might just bid 5 diamonds and get my bid in now. I haven't got much defense. I have a singleton spade, and I've got 6. My partner and I must probably have 10 diamonds between me. So I think I might do that. But on this hand, I'm not doing it. We're vulnerable. So on this hand, you're going to bid 3 diamonds. You have to be.
We did it and we were vulnerable and we went down 500, but they're going to make 620 if they get their spade
No,
contract.
if they get the spade contract, they can't make 620 because they're not vulnerable. They're only going to make 420.
Oh,
And that is
yeah.
why I've told everybody that vulnerability plays a very big role when you show 2 suited hands. If you're going to go off 500 and they're only going to make 420, you've really done yourself in. So my suggestion, and I said that on Tuesday night as well, always take into consideration your vulnerability and don't make 2 suited bids if you don't intend to sacrifice, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to know how to play the hand. So 3 diamonds is more than enough on this hand. More than enough. I think 3 diamonds is the right bid. I don't know about you, but I think so. And then what does the next hand do? Sitting with knowing you have 11 spades between you and a singleton in partner's other suit. Looks like a cross ruff. I would never bid 3 spades. I would always bid 4 spades on this hand, because we have 11 spades between us and I have a singleton heart, and I think it looks very pretty. And now, as I said before, don't double 2 suited overcalls. A lot of people get very excited and they double looking at all these cards. 2 suited hands are so freakish that half the time they make it, even 3/4 of the time they make these contracts. So if I were you, I would definitely not double 4 spades. A lot of people double, a lot. Don't double 2 suited hands. 99% of the time they make these contracts. And now they're going to get a lead. And what are they going to lead? And this is where you are going to fall down. When you have an outside ace, not the suit partner supported you with, but another outside ace, do not lead the ace of diamonds. You must lead the ace of clubs. Because if you lead the ace of diamonds, okay, that king of diamonds, and we trump the ace of diamonds, that king of diamonds is going to throw a club away. And now you're going to only lose 1 club instead of 2 club tricks. So they're going to make a lot more tricks. Do not lead the suit when you've both supported and you have another outside ace. If you didn't have another outside ace, it's different. But I definitely think you need to lead the ace of clubs to look at the dummy. Partner's going to throw the 8. We play attitude. I like it, partner. The 4 says, I don't like clubs. And you'll come back your lowest from 4. And you can take your 2 club tricks. Now, let's talk about which is the master hand, everybody. Who knows which is the hand we're going to make the good hand? 1 hand becomes the good hand. And that's the hand with the longer trumps. I've got hopefully no spade losers. I've got no heart losers. I've got no club losers and no diamond losers. So I am not going to ruff and trump any hearts at all unless I need it as a vehicle to get back to my hand. So after this, what are they going to come back? Well, they're not going to come back a spade. They may come back a diamond. Who knows? What else can they come back? Doesn't matter. And you're going to trump it. And you're going to put on the ace of spades because you've got 11 between you. They said they should all drop. Hopefully they're going to drop. And that's it. Isn't that beautiful? Now you use your ace of hearts as a vehicle to get to your hand. We're not trumping hearts for nothing. We're only going to trump hearts to get to our hand. Our queen of clubs is a trick. We can throw away a heart. And now we can trump the 9 of clubs. And we can trump the 10 of hearts. And we can now, and the hearts happen to be all good because they break. If they didn't break, you can still trump your diamond. And that's the end of the hand. And how many are we going to make? We're going to make 11 tricks. All we lose on this hand are 2 club tricks. Let's look at points, everybody. Let's look at points. We can't count the jack of clubs. We have 9 high card points in the east hand. And our king of diamonds is in the wrong position when they've opened a diamond on your left. But even if you count the king of diamonds, you've got 7. So you've got 9 and you've got 7 and you've got 16 points between you. And how many people double the north hand? I've seen this happen so many times. Don't double 2 suited overcalls, please. And now look what they did. They got to a contract and they made 11 tricks. How's that? Anybody got any questions?
Yes,
Yes.
we actually arrived pretty much where you were at the end, but then bid 5 diamonds and went down 1.
Okay,
Now,
they are
even-
vulnerable.
Pardon me?
They are vulnerable. They are vulnerable.
No, we were north-south and we
Yeah,
bid 5
yeah.
diamonds.
I know, but how
Vulnerable.
can you sacrifice it? You're vulnerable and they're not vulnerable?
Because we thought we don't
Losing
go
a
down 1
spade?
and we only did.
A heart and a club, and you go 1 down. That
Right.
happens to be pretty lucky. But what happens if you go 2 down? Is there a guarantee you're not going to go 2 down for 500?
No.
No.
That would have been a bad bid.
It would have been a
Right.
disaster. That's why I would never sacrifice not vulnerable against not vulnerable. You got lucky. You got lucky. I'm
So
too
do
scared.
you think,
Maybe you're braver than me. I don't know. I'm too scared.
well, it was the north hand that completed 5 diamonds and they had the strong hand.
I
And
realize that.
There was a lot of distributional magic going on here. So
Oh,
we
I
thought
know.
we could come within 1. That's what it was.
But imagine if you'd gone down 2.
We weren't doubled, so as it turned out anyway, that was lucky.
Okay, so what happens? Why do you say you only go down 1? What about the ace of hearts and a heart ruff? A spade?
The ace, what went down was the ace of hearts, 1 club, and the ace of spade down.
Okay, but let's look at it this way. Let's look at it this way. If you play the ace of hearts and partner plays a 7 and you play another heart, they trump it.
Right.
And you're coming
did.
back the 10 of hearts, a suit preference signal. The 10 of hearts asks for the higher of the remaining suits, excluding diamonds. And you come back a spade and you get another heart ruff.
Right.
Now you're in trouble.
And when that is what happened, but then the ace of diamonds drew the 13th.
No, they
trump.
never got in. We never got you in yet.
No, okay.
We didn't get you in yet. Ace of hearts, heart ruff, spade, another heart ruff.
Thank you.
And now you're in trouble. So it all depends. If you're brave enough to take that chance, they'd have to have perfect defense. I mean, you know, I would never be doing that. It's just too dangerous.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions on this board? Okay, I don't see any hands up. I'm going to go on to the next board. The next one will be hand number 8. And hand number 8 opened 1 club. And here is a beautiful cubit of 2 clubs for the majors. I would hate to bid a spade, overcall a spade, okay? And the next thing is they preempt you with 3 clubs or 4 clubs and you never find your heart fit. So to me, it's great to be able to show 2 suits. And that's what's such fun. The cubit of the minor shows the majors, okay? Don't forget. So we need to show
But you've
those
got 12
11
high card points.
I know. You have a singleton, but I just somehow love the shape. and I want to get my hand across. I think this hand, to bid a spade, I think I'd rather show my 2 suits. I really would. Sometimes you have to overstep the mark. Remember, not everything is cast in stone. There are many rules to be broken in this game, and I'm going to show you lots of them. But sometimes we just have to overstep the mark. I would bid 2 clubs on this hand. Now, what would the next hand bid? Well, I would bid 3 diamonds. I think 3 diamonds is a pretty good bid because you want to be able to block them out. And oh no, they didn't bid diamonds. They bid clubs. You have to pass. You've got nothing to say. You have to pass. They never bid diamonds. They bid clubs. And now the next hand. Now, South does not know how good the overcall is. The overcall could be a 5-point hand, and it could be a strong hand. Looking at this hand with 2 defensive tricks in diamonds, and a singleton in partner's other suit, and having 4 trumps, not 3. Remember, you have to bid your lowest 3-card major. You happen to have 4, knowing you have a 9-card major suit fit, at least. You are not going to bid 2 hearts. You are far too strong. You're going to jump to 3 hearts. 3 hearts is called invitational. Partner, if you're very weak, you can pass, but if you've got good cards for me, maybe we should be in 4 hearts. And this hand's going to accept 4 hearts with 2 singletons. So let me go back to the South hand, everybody. You not only have an 8-card major suit fit, you have a 9-card major suit fit. You are forced to bid. You cannot pass a cubit. You can never pass a cubit, everyone. So you're forced to bid. Because once East does not bid, you're not off the hook. You have to bid. So bidding 2 hearts, you could have no points in your hand and bid a 3-card heart suit. So it's your duty to jump the bidding, to tell partner you've got a pretty good hand and you'd like to let him know, I don't know if you, the one who bid the cubit, are weak or strong. And it's up to you, the advancer, to guide your partner what you have. And that's how you get to 4 hearts. I hope everyone was in 4 hearts. Do you think they were? I don't know.
Yep.
Huh? Were lots of people in 4 hearts?
Yeah, more than half.
Oh, good. Okay, well, that's good.
We were only in 3.
Oh, okay. The hand's just too good for a 2-heart bid. I think you have to jump. And then partner will never not go to a game with 2 singletons. And a singleton ace is worth 7 points. Now, dummy points, because you have an ace, which is 4, and a singleton is 3, is 7. So anytime you have a singleton ace, you should always value that hand when you find a fit as 7 points, everybody. It's very valuable.
Linda, what would South have needed to go right to 4 hearts?
I don't know. South would need more shape or double fits. A double fit with her, let's say 4 hearts. I would bid 4 hearts if I had the ace, king of spades and a singleton diamond. I would go to 4 hearts on a double fit. That is what you would need.
Okay.
If you double fit, like we had on the first hand, a double fit makes gains. When you fit in 2 suits, you upgrade. It's beautiful. But when you don't fit in 2 suits, it's not as good. So if I had the ace, king, and another spade and a singleton diamond, I would bid 4 hearts on the hand. I don't look at points. My king of clubs is dead. I don't even look at it. I look at a double fit. Does that make you happy? Double fit. Good. Now we've got to draw trumps. Let's look which is the master hand. Does everyone know which is the master hand? The dummy. The one with the long hearts. That is going to be the master hand. We are never going to want to ruff any clubs whatsoever. It has no bearing whatsoever on this hand. We are going to set up that spade suit. We're in the dummy. We should play the king of hearts, and I'll tell you why I want you to play the king. I want to keep my entries in my hand to play towards my honors, the queen, jack of spades. So let's play the king of hearts, everybody. You need to draw trumps. And what are they going to come back? A diamond. That's perfect. It's just what you wanted, right? So now you have no problem. There's only one more trump out. And the main thing is I need to try and hope they fall together. So I'm going to play the jack of hearts. And then I'm going to lead my little spade. Now let's talk about ace doubleton. If you do not take the ace and you play low and they put up the queen and the king takes a trick, your ace is going to fall next time. So it is up to you whether you want to hop in with the ace or not, because you have a doubleton. So you've got to make that decision. So if you don't do that, let's say you take the ace. We'll do it both ways, okay? What are they going to come back? A diamond or a club? We don't know. What are they going to come back? The aces club is gone already. So if they're coming back a diamond, you're happy. If you come back a club, you're happy. You've got the king 10. What are you going to come back? You've got a problem. So whatever you come back, you're going to help them. Why? Because the king 10 of diamonds will be good. The king 10 of clubs will be good. If you come back the 2 of spades and they cover, you're going to trumpet, aren't you? You're going to trumpet. And now if you come back a spade, and what happens now with the spade? You won. What happened? Did we not trump that trick? I don't think I did.
You trumped it in the south.
I did. Yes, I did trump the trick. Yes, I did trump it. I'm in my hand. All right. So now I have the king of clubs. It's a trick. I have the king of diamonds, which is a trick. And now I either going to go for the club or I go for the diamond. It doesn't matter. If I go for the club and the jack of clubs comes down, my clubs will be good. If it doesn't matter. So let's try the clubs. They opened a club. They marked with the jack. Do you remember that they led the queen? So once you knew they led the queen, they have the jack. So if they don't cover, you'll discard your spade. And if they do cover, you'll trumpet. So it doesn't really matter whatever happens. So whatever they do, it doesn't matter. And your jack of spades is good. And why are I want to talk about split honors, everybody. Split honors. And this is something you must try and remember. When they made an opening lead, and I want to go back to an opening lead. This is part of leads. And the rest is yours. And you're going to make 11 tricks. You've got the rest of the hearts. The 9 of clubs is good, but you don't need it. Let's talk about the opening lead. If they had the ace, king of spades, they might have led the ace to look a dummy. The spades are split. We know that the ace, king are in 2 different hands. It's 75% that the spades are in 2 different hands. One in one, one in the other. They might have led the ace of spades to get a look at the dummy. So that is why you wouldn't leave the queen of clubs. They're missing the ace of clubs and the king of clubs. So they've got to have some aces somewhere to have opened this bidding. So that's how you know where the cards are, by the lead. The lead helps you. Are there any questions on this hand? We're setting up the dummy. Any questions? None? Are there questions on any other hands? No questions on any other hand?
I'd like to look at either 9 or 10. I think we went down both of them. Our opponents did on one and we did on the other.
Okay, I'm
We
putting up
both
number,
went to game, I think.
I put up number 9.
So the bidding of both would be interesting.
Okay, so North's going to open 1 diamond. The higher of 2 5-card suits. And now, East is going to bid 2 diamonds, the majors. The cubit of the minor is the majors. Now, what do we do? Let's talk about this bid. This is very interesting indeed. When you've got 10 or more points and you're happy to double one of their suits or both of their suits, the correct thing is to double and say, partner, we have the majority of the points and I'm happy to double one or both of their suits. That is what the double would mean. There's no negative double. When they show 2 suits and you've got all these points in the 2 suits, it's up to you to take an action. Either you double, which I would do. I don't have a diamond fit. I'd like to tell partner I have at least 10 points and I'm happy to double one of their suits. So let's go into the double.
Now the double would show that you have diamonds and clubs?
No, there's no 2 negative doubles.
Okay.
When somebody makes the cubit of the majors and you make a double, that double is penalty orientated.
Okay.
It says, partner, I can double 1 or 2 of their suits and we have the majority of the points and I have at least 10 points or better.
Okay, because your partner opened. Okay.
Correct. And you don't fit with partner in diamonds. Now, this hand should bid 2 spades because they have a marked preference for spades, not for hearts. Okay? And it's going to go pass. And this hand's going to pass. And now it is entirely, you can't double with only 3 trumps. That's not going to be good enough. Your partner couldn't double 2 spades and you couldn't double with only 3 trumps in the hand. They are vulnerable. You've got to take some action. And the only action you can take is to bid 2 no trump. I have 11, 12 points. I've got a stopper in the spade suit and I have 11, 12 points partner.
Okay.
And that is how you would get out of this. You'd have to. What else can you do?
Right. Okay.
If they bid hearts, you're doubling anything they bid. And the important part is that when you open, you need at least 2.5 defensive tricks. And you do have 2.5 defensive tricks.
Okay.
You've got the ace, king of diamonds, and the king of clubs. I can't say the king of hearts is worth anything.
Okay.
What happened at your table?
We ended up getting up to 4 spades somehow. How does East West know not to go any higher?
Because the south hand should be doubling the 2 diamond bid.
Oh, okay. So then they would know there's opening, like they don't have the points.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's
then
look
that
at 10 if you don't mind. That was helpful with the bidding. That
I
was
think
really
that's
helpful.
a very important point in showing 2 suitors of how to bid against them. The other thing is this, that if you do not take an action and your partner bids 2 spades, you're not invited to the party, East. Partner was forced to bid. Partner was forced to bid, and you should not be bidding. And if North bids 3 clubs, they're showing an extreme 2-suited hand.
Okay.
Okay, so we shouldn't get frisky, and we should not be going any further than where we are.
Okay.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
putting number
Linda,
yes.
unfortunately, instead of doubling, I said 2 no trump as south.
Mm,
And then my partner said 3 no trump.
and that
But so I should have doubled instead of.
a double's a much better bid. And how many tricks did you make? You haven't got enough tricks. There's extreme distribution. I want you to be aware that when someone uses the cubit, you must know that nothing's breaking. So your partner should never accept the invitation knowing that there's extreme shape at this table.
Okay, we
Nothing's
went down 1, so 2 no trump would have been
You've got
better.
3 club tricks and 2 diamonds of 5 and a heart is 6 and a spade is 7. I might be going down more.
No, we just went down 1.
Oh, because
And
you
we
could
weren't
set up the
vulnerable.
diamonds. You could set up the diamonds. So
Yeah.
let's see what happened. What did they lead a spade? That's not good.
No.
They led a spade, the 3 of spades. You're going to take the king of spades. You have to, otherwise you'll never make it. So you're going to lose 4 spade tricks and the ace of hearts before you have any chance. 1 down, right?
Yeah,
One-
one down.
Okay. I want you to all be aware of 2 suited overcalls, please. Very
Yes.
important. Very important.
So the
Alright.
double,
The
the
double,
double of a cubid means what?
the double, when people show a 2 suited hand, shows 10 points or better. And it says, partner, I'm happy to double 1 or both of these suits. We have the majority of the points.
I can double for penalty.
Penalty
One or
double
both
orientated. There's no negative doubles over 2 suited overcalls.
Got it. Thank you.
No negative doubles. All right. So 1 club was opened over here. I don't know what happened on board 10.
Yes.
And now this hand but 2 clubs to show the
Okay.
majors.
Yeah.
And what did this hand do? But 2 diamonds for
I
a
think
lead.
that's a good bid.
Well, you want the lead of a diamond.
Yeah.
So you might as well get your bid in now because you might not see it later, right?
Right.
And then it's going to go 1 club, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds. Now the other hand has got 3-3 in the majors and is off the hook because you don't know whether partner's strong or weak. So
Okay.
you're going to pass, okay?
Okay. So that
And-
you wouldn't bid that hand. I think we
No,
bid
I
that.
would never play. I would never guess at which cards to bid. I'm not good enough.
And so you know the partner gets the bid because the opponent's bid, so you don't have to bid.
Correct. So once they bid, you're off the hook. Now, this hand's not going to bid hearts because they know they've already shown the majors. So this hand's going to now go 3 clubs to say, well, I've got a 6-card club suit. And now, what is this hand going to do?
That's right.
What is this hand going to do? He's already shown that he's got both suits and you're vulnerable.
Okay.
So this hand has to make a decision. And I think this hand should pass. I really do. I don't think this hand is strong enough to make a forward-going bid.
Because it's got those
You've
3
only
losing
got
clubs and
those few
diamonds,
points, and it's not a great hand.
and we don't have either great suit.
No. So, but let us say for argument that the south hand was strong. Okay?
Okay.
I would bid 4 clubs. And say,
Oh,
partner,
okay.
choose your best major. If I was strong, but I'm not strong.
Okay.
But that's another bit you might want to use one day when you're very strong and you don't want to be bid out. And then you would bid 4 spades, choosing your best major.
But if you were on that 16 plus side.
Correct. If you were strong, you would bid 4 clubs now. You
okay.
bid 2 clubs and then you bid 4 clubs. Partner, let's do something. And
Okay.
that's how you would get this hand across. Is that
Thank
not
you so
interesting?
much.
Right. Okay. Any other questions, everybody? Everyone's happy? Okay. I'm happy to stop sharing. So next week, we are going to do second hand low. And we've got some exceptions, of course. There's always exceptions in bridge. And I look forward to seeing you next week. In the meantime, have a wonderful weekend. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Linda.
So good.